There are three main steps involved in solving this problem. First, we need to convert pound force to newtons, since we would like to have all the units in metric system. Then, we must determine the angles associated with wires AB and AC. Finally, we are going to use point A as our particle, draw the force diagram, and use the equilibrium equations to calculate the tension force in each wire. To convert pound to newton, we simply multiply 20 by 4.448. This gives us a downward force of 88.96 newtons. This is the force that the flower pot exerts on wire AD, and consequently on point A. Let's replace the flower pot with the 88.96 Newton force like this. Now we need to determine the inclination angles for wires AB and AC. To determine the angles, we need to know a couple of distances. We need to know this length and this height. Here we have a right triangle with a known hypotenuse. We also have this smaller triangle defined in terms of W and H. The hypotenuse of this triangle is 2 meters. We need to determine W and H. To do so, we use the Pythagorean Theorem. For this triangle, we get, and for this one we get, Equation 2 can also be written like this. We can get rid of the square terms by subtracting equation 1 from equation 2. Now, express H in terms of W. Then substitute this for H in equation 1. This gives us a quadratic equation in terms of W. The roots of the equation are. Substituting each computed value for W in equation 1, we get the corresponding H value. Since H cannot be negative, then this solution is not applicable. Here is the right solution. Knowing H and W, we can now calculate the inclination angle for each wire segment. We are now ready to write the equilibrium equations. Here is our particle and the forces that are acting on it. The particle has to be in equilibrium. Therefore, we need to write two equilibrium equations. The sum of the forces in x direction must be 0. The sum of the forces in y direction must be 0. We can use equation 1 to express FAB in terms of FAC. Then we substitute 4 times FAC over 3 for FAB in equation 2 to get this equation. Solving the equation for FAC, we get 53.38 newtons. Then, using equation 3, we calculate FAB to be 71.17 newtons. So, tension in wire AB is 71.17 newtons. And wire AC carries a tension force of 53.38 newtons.